So solving the system using the inverse of the coefficient matrix. The inverse of the coefficient has basically two parts to it. And this is very confusing and very weird, so I'm sorry. The first part is to get the coefficient matrix. And then the second part is get the inverse of the coefficient, but that's all kind of confusing if you think about it, but it's multiplying it by the determinant, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, so let's figure out the first part. So to do this, so the first part of this is so if I want to know the new number that goes right here. So I'm going to come up with a new matrix. This is going to be the coefficient matrix. The new number here would be found using this right here. Now we go 0 times 1 is 0. And then I think it's minus, so 0 times 1 is 0. Negative 1 times negative 2 is a positive 2, so minus 2. Well, why did that turn? Okay, 0 minus 2 is what's going to end up going in that spot right there, so 0 minus 2 is negative 2. Okay? I know. Weird. Okay? So now, get my eraser. So now we're going to get rid of this. If I'm going to find the next one, it goes here. I'm going to get rid of this row and this column. So it'll be 0. I'm looking at 0, 1, negative 1, 1, right? 0, 1, negative 1, and 1. So cross. 0 times 1 is 0. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. So 0 minus a negative 1 would be 0 plus 1, which is 1. Okay, now I'm going to keep doing the exact same thing, so hopefully after I did it like 20 times, you'll be like, oh, okay. I'm going to do this one. To do this one, I'm going to get rid of this row, this column, leaving me with just the 0, 0, 1, negative 2. So it'll be the 0, the 0, the 1, and the negative 2. So whatever number you're looking at, you're getting rid of that row and that column and whatever's left, right? So 0, 0, 1. So 0 times negative 2 is negative 2. Oh, I'm sorry, 0. 0 times negative 2 is 0. 0 times 1 is 0. 0 minus 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. Okay. Now to find this one. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this and this, giving me that. So if I find this, get this, I have negative 7, negative 2, negative 2, 1. So negative 7 times 1 is negative 7, minus negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4. So negative 7 minus 4 would be negative 11. Okay, now we're going to find this one. So we're getting rid of this column, this row. So I'm looking at 4, negative 2, 1, 1. See, right? Get rid of that, get rid of that. See the numbers that are left? Okay, 4 times 1 is 4, minus negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. So 4 minus a negative 2 would be 4 plus 2, which is 6. Next one, get rid of this and this. So we're going to do 4, negative 7, 1, negative 2. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. Minus negative 7 times 1 is negative 7. Negative 8 minus a negative 7 would be negative 8 plus 7, which is negative 1. Okay, now we're going to do this one. There and there. So negative 7, negative 2, 0, negative 1. Negative 7 times negative 1 is a positive 7. Negative 2 times 0 is 0, so 7 minus 0, which is just... Oh, I did it in the wrong spot. 7 minus 0, which is just 7. Okay. And this one, we're going to get rid of this and this. So 4, 0, negative 2, negative 1. All right. 4, 0, negative 2, 1. Oh, negative 1. 4, 0, negative 2, negative 1. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4 minus negative 2 times 0 is 0 minus 0. Negative 4 minus 0 is negative 4. Okay. Last one. Get rid of this and this. So 4, negative 7, 0, 0. 4 times 0 is 0. Negative 7, 0 minus 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. Alright, so that's the first part of it. The second part of it, and I'm going to copy this down over here for a second. Negative, or not negative 4. 4, 0, 1, negative 7, 0, negative 2, negative 2, negative 1, 1. All right, so now we got to get this, multiply it by the determinant. The determinant is going to be, and a way to do this is just to repeat these numbers. 4, negative 7, negative 2, 0, 0, negative 1, 1, negative 2, 1. And now I'm going to do some multiplying. 4 times 0 times 1, 0. Negative 7 times negative 1 times 1 is a positive 7. Okay, add these up. 4, or negative 2 times 0 times negative 2. Negative 2 times 0 times negative 2 is 0. I need to double check. Yeah, I'm adding. This is what it looks like. Multiply, multiply, multiply. We add them up. And when you do these, you're subtracting each one of those. Okay? That's what it looks like. Maybe I'll drag this down a little bit lower. Alright. So 4, 0, okay, there. Now we're going to go minus. Each one of these is going to be minus. Minus, so 4, negative 1, negative 2 would be positive 8. So minus a positive 8. Minus. Next one, 7, 0, 1 is 0, minus 0. And then negative 2 times 0 times 0 as well. 0, 7, 0 plus 7 plus 0 minus 8. Minus 0 minus 0, that's negative 1. So negative 1 times this basically just changes all these signs to 1, 0, negative. Oh, not a negative. 2, 1, 0, 11. Negative 6, 1. Negative 7, positive 4, 0. Now, the idea now is, now that you have this, if I multiply, and go back up here to the top, if I multiply, so this equation, this thing right here, 4, negative 7, negative 2, 0, 0, if I multiply this and I multiply this times this thing that I created, it's supposed to give you the answer. Okay? That's the goal. Okay? So let me get this here. I'm going to have to do some copying and pasting. Pause it. Alright, so I copied a bunch of stuff over here. So in theory, this is that equation that you wrote down. In theory, if I multiply this side by that, and if I multiply, I think I can move this if I highlight the whole thing. And I multiply this side by that. Let's copy this here. In theory, if I do this times this, and I do this times this, it will give me an answer. I think. That's the plan. I don't remember if you remember how to multiply these, but to find the answers to these things, a 3 by 3 times a 3 by 3 is going to give you a 3 by 3. Okay. And this 3 by 3 times a 3 by 1 is going to, this is a 3 by 3, and this 3 by 1. This 3 by 3 times this 3 by 1 is going to give you a 3 by 1. So I try to multiply these, it's going to give you just one thing. And in theory, I think if I multiply, if I did everything right and I do this times this, it should come out to be that. That's if I did it right. And then when you multiply these, then it should work out. So, row 1, column 1 would be row 1 times column 1. So 2 times 4 is 8. 1 times 3 is 3. And 0 times a negative 5 is 0. That'd be 11. So second row, first column would be this times this. So 4 times 11 is 44. Negative 6 times 3 is a negative, so plus a negative 18. And then 1 times negative 5 is negative 5. So 44 minus 18 minus 5. Oh, geez. 44 minus 18 would be... Oh, I hate doing that. In my head, I'm just going to grab a calculator. I know I'm going to do it wrong. 44 minus 18, then minus 5 is 21. And the last one, this times this. So negative 7 times 4 is negative 28. 4 times 3 is 12. 0 times, that's 0. 28, negative 28 plus 12. Negative 16. So in theory, x is 11, y is 21, and z is negative 16. In theory. So I don't know if I did this right. That's the best I got. Okay.